Hot Shops, which would eventually become the seed for an international hotel chain with thousands of hotels, resorts, and retirement communities worldwide, all began with just a 9-stool root beer stand in Washington, D.C. When the very first restaurant opened in May of 1927, it started out as an A&W franchise, selling root beer for 5 cents a mug. But as the weather got colder, J.W. Marriott Sr. and his wife Alice added hot food such as chili, tamales, and barbecue beef, and gave his restaurant the name The Hot Shop. It just so happened the stand opened on the very same day that Charles Lindbergh made his famous solo flight across the Atlantic Ocean. Years later, Marriott Sr. would go on to tell Lindbergh, "We went into business on the same day, but you got all the publicity." The stand was a big hit, not only because of the ice-cold root beer during the hot summer months, but also because the Marriotts gambled with an eclectic menu that had people from all over the city stopping by. In 1928, the couple was the first to introduce curbside service to the East Coast, which saw uniformed running boys rush orders from the kitchen to customers' cars. Later, waitresses called curbettes took over these duties. The Marriotts built their Hot Shops brand on slogans like "Food for the entire family" and "Square meals at a fair price." Eventually, that commitment to service and hospitality led to success in other areas, most notably the family's soon-to-be well-known hotel brand. In the late 1930s, Marriott began noticing people rushing into the Hot Shop for a meal before hopping on a plane at nearby Hoover Field. That gave him the idea to approach Eastern Airlines, and Hot Shop started providing boxed lunches to the airline for passengers' meals. During World War II, there was a shortage of young men available to work, so Hot Shops turned to employing young ladies to bring the food out to the customers. This became something that the gentlemen eating at the restaurant appreciated. Popular food items that Hot Shops became known for included the Mighty Mo, a double hamburger served on a sesame seed bun divided into 3 slices, and served with a distinctive sauce on the bottom layer. They also offered the Teen Twist, which was a ham and cheese sandwich, and deliciously thick orange freeze milkshakes. During the 1940s, they also began offering cafeteria-style dining. The cafeterias really took off in the 1960s, as shopping malls were constructed and developers looked for restaurants providing good food and fast service. This was also the time that Hot Shops were in their prime. There were around 75 Hot Shops spread across a dozen states. Nearly half of them were in the Washington, D.C. area alone. Jazz great Duke Ellington and his band even recorded various Hot Shops theme songs, which aired in radio ads in the late 1960s. In 1957, the Hot Shops expanded into the hotel business by opening their first motel, named the Twin Bridges Motor Hotel in Arlington County, Virginia. By 1964, Hot Shops Incorporated was renamed Marriott Hot Shops Incorporated, and would eventually become the Marriott Corporation by 1967. Also in 1967, Marriott acquired the Big Boy Family Restaurants chain from owner Bob Wyan. They followed up that acquisition by buying an Indiana-based roast beef chain called Roby's, which they renamed to Roy Rogers Family Restaurants. By the 1980s, the restaurant business and the Marriott Company had changed drastically. With more and more focus on the hotel side of the business, Hot Shops kind of fell by the wayside. Marriott continued buying other restaurant chains, including Geno's Hamburgers and Howard Johnson Restaurants, and the restaurant business for them became more and more a game of buying and selling. By 1989, the company announced it would slowly close all of the Hot Shops locations. The Hot Shops of the past were dwindling, unable to compete with the fast pace of the fast food business. From the likes of McDonald's to the craze of home-delivered pizzas, Hot Shops just couldn't compete. In 1999, the Marriott Corporation shuttered its last remaining Hot Shops cafeteria, bringing to an end a 72-year run. This fairly small chain of restaurants had a big impact on business, becoming the foundation for many Marriott companies. The next time you stay at a Marriott hotel, just think about the history and how it all started from a single root beer stand in Washington, D.C. It really is pretty remarkable. Let me know in the comments your own memories of stopping by your local Hot Shops. If you enjoyed this video, check out the description for links that help support the channel. And as always, thank you so much for watching.